what do you think about how much people are using AI nowadays?
Ooh, that's a great question. Okay. I think that, that's a phenomenal question. I think that, to start it off, I think that schools are doing themselves a disservice by saying no AI. No AI ever. I think that, my hot take is I don't think that AI will replace a majority of jobs, right? I think that AI may replace 15 to 20% of jobs, but I think that it will generate new jobs as a result of itself. Got to maintain it, right? So I think that we need to learn how to work with AI and learn how to use it to improve our current systems. Like the guys who code, like they would put their code into ChatGPT and it would fix it. Like we need to use AI to elevate our current systems and work with it.
Oh yeah.
I think AI is wonderful. I think that we should learn how to keep it relaxed, but also learn how to work with it instead of trying to fight so hard, because I think it's phenomenal for us.
I agree. I mean, I feel like AI it's a booster shot, not a cure. Right? It's like this.
I agree.
It's this brand new world.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. Where instead of having to spend hours and hours and hours on the mundane stuff,
Yeah, for sure.
you can pass it to this massive collection of information.
For sure.
And let it solve it. I feel like its real purpose is to free up our time.
I agree.
Because since, time unmentioned, everything we've invented has been to give us more time to do things that we need to do.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. I mean, just to put a basic example on the screen, the washing machine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It used to take like 2 or 3 hours to do laundry, to scrub them on a scrubbing board, right? Hang them out in the sun. You got to watch them, make sure nobody else takes them.
Yeah.
Now you throw them in the big box, turn it on, put some stuff in there, run it for an hour, and throw it in the other machine.
Exactly.
It's easy. Frees up your day.
Yes.
Right? It means you don't have to do all those household chores. We have stuff for that.
Right.
We have Roombas, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like AI is just, it's the Roomba for like math.
Oh yeah.
Instead of having to have a guy that sits there for 5 hours a day doing 5 plus 5. You just feed ChatGPT this massive string of equations, let them solve it, run through, do a little bit of proof checking, and send it off.
I agree.
That frees up your time to do big management tasks.
I agree.
And you would know that working in the field you work, you manage massive stuff. And again, I'm not going to out your deets, but like you manage stuff that's important.
Yeah, I do.
And I feel like if your day was freed up of those mundane BS tasks that just suck up your hours, I feel like you could get way more done.
I agree.
I feel like you could be done faster. It makes your quality of life better.
Yeah, exactly.
Inventory. I feel like if people who are inventory specialists, we need you to check, but I feel like it would save you time and stress.
For sure.
If you had an AI run it and all you have to do is just double check.
I fucking agree.
I feel like we're demonizing it.
Oh, for sure.
Just like we demonized the printing press when it first came along as a, duplication of information is bad, inaccuracies. Well, yeah, sure, it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing.
True.
Right? And now we have books that go out in the millions.
That's right.
And so I feel like it's like an aid.
Absolutely.
To every job that requires hours of math, now it requires half the time.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. And I think even like AI helps you not look like an idiot so much, because like in my job, like sometimes like people will like send me stuff in emails, or we'll be talking in meetings and they'll say something and I'm like, what the fuck do they mean by this and that? Like it'll be so confusing. And I asked ChatGPT, I'll be like, hey, like, or Instagram Meta or Copilot or whatever, and I'll be like, hey, like, John said da 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 da. I'm so confused. Like, can you explain to me what he's asking? And ChatGPT will be like, sure, John's asking da da da. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, now I can give John what he asked for. I don't get to be like, hey, John, can you please explain what you mean by like? And it remembers stuff that I stated. So it'll be like, yeah, like 6 months ago, the document ABC123, and I'm like, ah, shit, thank you. Like, it saves my ass, 'cause I'm like, I have questions, and I'm like, I don't really want to, like, ask the person this. I think asking questions is great, but sometimes it's like, I don't want to seem stupid. So I just asked ChatGPT, like, can you explain this? And they explained it, and then that way I can give John what he wants, and I'm not wasting 30 minutes of time and need explanation. So it's definitely it's like, I feel bad for anybody who grew up in the days when ChatGPT didn't exist. Like, I'm like, oh my god, like, where would I be without ChatGPT?
And I know personally, a guy who's in love with ChatGPT. He works in the U.S. military, and he works with keeping personal and like records of all of these parts, all this equipment. And before AI came along, his job was absolute hell. He had this massive spreadsheet of every god-awful part.
The spreadsheets, tell me about them.
And so now all he does is enter all of that information into a locked VPN ChatGPT that he pays for, like the monthly premium.
Yeah.
And whenever he'll just ask, hey, ChatGPT, how much of this part do I have and where is it?
Oh, that's good.
And it'll spike him up an answer. And so when, private douchebag he runs up, is like, Therman 16 doesn't work anymore, my spike broken. You can tell him exactly where to get the new part.
That's right, yeah.
And so I feel like that's like part of the usage. And for me, and I can talk about it because I don't care, because they laid me off. I used to work for this garden center, and because I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I don't really care about plants. But I used to have this massive spreadsheet on ChatGPT that I would post into it that just would tell me the name of a plant. So I could be like, yes, Margaret,
So awesome.
this variety of rose does smell good. Or
Ask ChatGPT, what's the scent of
what's
the
the
rose?
scent?
Yeah.
And then it'll, and I can ask it, like, how do I describe this?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a floral
Yeah.
light scent. Because for me, the way I describe it, it smells like a rose.
Yeah, same.
It smells rosy
Yeah.
to me, to be honest. So like, yeah, it helped me get through the days at that job where people would ask a million questions about something I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
And I could bring it up and, quietly answer their questions over the phone with, what ChatGPT was giving me.
Yeah, exactly.
So it freed up my time to study what I'm actually interested in, which is electrician stuff,
Yeah.
electrical engineering eventually.
Yeah.
I didn't want to waste my time, on this job that I intended to leave.
Right, yeah.
So it really saved me a bunch of time and a bunch of effort.
Hell yeah.
Learning flower names and varieties and placements. Just a bunch of wasted time. And I feel like AI, that's its real purpose.
I agree. I think it's assisting us at what we're already currently good at, not letting it take over, but just giving us that boost. Like I said, a booster shot.
It's a booster shot,
cure.
not a cure.
That's a great analogy.